We are solely focused on abused children. Doesn't matter whether it's physical abuse, mental abuse, or sexual abuse. Any abuse to a child can bring us involved. Um, we respond when we're needed, where we're needed. If a child needs us at 2 in the morning, we jump on our bikes and go right out to see the child at 2 in the morning. But we're solely focused on that need of that child at that moment.
Would you like to add on at all?
No, that pretty
Are you
much sums it up. We're there for the kids, to help them to get through the dark times. We'll go to court with them. And like he says, if they call us, no matter what time of day or night it is, we'll come to their house and until they feel safe again.
And you said
A core part of our mission statement kind of sums it up quite well. We empower children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. So when they get into our system, when we adopt them into the Baca family, this is to help them take control of their lives, not be afraid of what's going on, to re-own their life. It allows them to be a child again. So that's a core piece of what we're about.
and you said this is kind of filling a gap between 2 points. Can you
So
talk about
we
that?
kind of fill a gap. They are adopted into our family, so we give them a cut like we wear with the patches. They get a road name like we get. They pick their own road name, and from that point on, that's all we refer to them by. Only a couple of people in the chapter know their real name because that's not material to what we're about. And because we use road names, they get to use road names, so it further enforces the idea that they're a part of the family. So we can go and sit if necessary for days on end if we have to, where law enforcement can't do that. They don't have the resources for that. We've had a case in the past where we sat for 44 days, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for frightened children just because they needed us there. Law enforcement can't do that. We also were bikers, so we have our own set of rules, our own standards. So we go with that. And the children naturally migrate to bikers. It's an interesting thing. They're not afraid of us. Adults are, children aren't. So we capitalize on that too, so they know we're here to help them.
And when you say you sat, do you just hang out like outside to kind of protect their home? That sort
Basically
of thing?
camped out.
Camped out? Yeah,
We
that's
camped
what I
out.
pictured.
We had a trailer there, and we had as many as anywhere from 4 to probably about 8 or 10 people there at a time. And the perpetrator was showing up at all odd hours of the day and night, and the children were genuinely afraid. They wouldn't even come out of their house at times except to go to school or to go see grandma and grandpa, and that was it. After we planted out there, they'd start playing out in the yard and playing football with each other, and sometimes they'd take one of our members down to the creek to go get crawdads and things like that. So they got to be normal kids again.
Experience while you've been doing this?
I have watched children a number of times go, including the child that clings to mommy's leg, won't come out when we come up, and we let the child drive the interaction. We don't. And if that's the way it goes, that's the way it goes. But I've also watched them start from there, and in 15, 30 minutes, they're out at least fist bumping with us or something. So when we meet them, if they're younger kids, we get down on knees to meet them at their eye level. We take off our gloves and sunglasses so they can see our eyes, so they're not afraid. But it's all about the children. It's not about the parents. It's not about the courts. It's not about anything else but the child. And that's all it means.